The mighty Roman Empire, once a symbol of power, wealth, and civilization. For centuries, it stood as a beacon of human achievement, its legions unstoppable, its emperors worshipped as gods, its reach extended across continents, its laws shaping the lives of millions. But by 476 CE, this once mighty empire had crumbled, leaving behind only ruins and echoes of its former glory. What led to the downfall of one of history's greatest empires? Today, we embark on a journey through time to uncover the truth behind the fall of Rome. For centuries, Rome stood strong. Its legions, disciplined and unyielding, were feared throughout the known world. Its emperors, wielding absolute power, commanded respect and obedience. From the sun-drenched shores of the Mediterranean to the mist-shrouded hills of Britannia, the Roman Empire's influence was vast and undeniable. But by the 4th and 5th centuries CE, the very ground upon which this mighty empire stood began to tremble.
Waves of invaders, driven by ambition, desperation, or both, tested Rome's defenses like never before. The Visigoths, a Germanic people led by the fearsome king Alaric, marched upon Rome itself. In 410 CE, the unthinkable happened. The Eternal City, the heart of the Roman Empire, was sacked. The Visigoths, their numbers vast and their thirst for plunder insatiable, swept through the streets of Rome, leaving a trail of destruction in their wake.
The sack of Rome was not an isolated incident, but a harbinger of the chaos to come. The empire, weakened by internal strife and economic turmoil, found itself under attack from all sides. From the east came the Huns, led by the legendary Attila, whose ruthlessness struck fear into the hearts of even the bravest Roman soldiers. From the north came the Vandals, who, in 455 CE, launched a devastating sack of Rome, even more brutal than the one that preceded it. The once mighty Rome, the envy of the world, was now a shadow of its former self, its spirit broken, its treasures plundered, its people demoralized. The truth is, Rome's greatest enemy wasn't the barbarians who stormed its gates. It was Rome itself. The empire, once a model of stability and strength, had become a breeding ground for corruption, its once efficient bureaucracy now a tangled web of greed and self-interest.
Between 235 and 285 CE, a period known as the crisis of the 3rd century, Rome had over 20 emperors, many of whom met their end not on the battlefield but at the hands of their own people. Assassination became a disturbingly common occurrence, a testament to the deep-seated instability that plagued the empire.
This constant power struggle left Rome weak and vulnerable, its citizens losing faith in their leaders and the future of their empire. Rome's once mighty economy, the engine that had fueled its expansion and sustained its vast armies, was in a state of crisis.
To fund its endless wars and appease its increasingly restless population, the Roman government resorted to a dangerous practice, debasing its currency. By reducing the amount of precious metals in its coins, Rome was essentially printing money, a short-sighted solution that had disastrous consequences. Inflation soared, prices skyrocketed, and the once stable Roman economy spiraled into chaos. The denarius, once a symbol of Rome's economic might, became almost worthless, its value plummeting as quickly as the empire's fortunes.
Ah, the toga, that flowing, draped garment so synonymous with ancient Rome. A symbol of Roman citizenship, the toga was more than just clothing. It was a statement, a badge of honor, a visible declaration of one's place in the Roman world. But even in the rigid, tradition-bound society of ancient Rome, change was inevitable, and perhaps no garment represented this change more dramatically than the humble pair of pants. Those bifurcated garments that we take for granted today were, to the Romans, a symbol of barbarity, a garment worn by the uncivilized people who lived beyond the empire's borders. To a Roman citizen, accustomed to the flowing elegance of the toga, the very idea of covering one's legs in two separate pieces of cloth was absurd, even offensive. But practicality, as it often does, eventually trumped tradition. As the Roman Empire expanded, its legions found themselves campaigning in colder, wetter climates, where the toga, for all its elegance, simply wasn't practical. Soldiers shivering in the cold looked enviously at the barbarians they were fighting, who seemed perfectly comfortable in their trousers.
As the Western Roman Empire crumbled under the weight of its own internal struggles and the relentless pressure from barbarian invaders, a new power was rising in the East, the Eastern Roman Empire, later known as the Byzantine Empire.
In 330 CE, Emperor Constantine I, a shrewd and ambitious ruler, made a momentous decision that would alter the course of history. He moved the Roman capital from Rome to the ancient Greek city of Byzantium, strategically located on the shores of the Bosporus Strait.
Constantine recognized Byzantium's strategic importance. Situated at the crossroads of Europe and Asia, Byzantium controlled vital trade routes and served as a natural gateway between East and West.
He renamed the city Constantinople in his own honor, and it quickly became a thriving metropolis, a beacon of civilization and a symbol of the enduring power of the Roman Empire. But Constantine's legacy extends far beyond the establishment of a new capital.
The reign of Emperor Justinian I, who ruled the Byzantine Empire from 527 to 565 CE, marked a period of unparalleled brilliance and ambition.
Justinian, a ruler of immense energy and vision, dreamed of restoring the Roman Empire to its former glory, reuniting the East and West under his rule. He embarked on a series of ambitious military campaigns to reclaim the lost territories of the Western Roman Empire. His armies clashing with Vandals, Ostrogoths, and other Germanic tribes who had established their own kingdoms on former Roman soil.
Justinian's generals, Belisarius and Narses, were brilliant military strategists who achieved remarkable victories, expanding the Byzantine Empire's borders, and briefly restoring Roman rule to parts of Italy, North Africa, and Spain.
But Justinian's ambitions extended far beyond military conquest. He was also a renowned lawgiver, determined to codify and preserve Roman law for future generations.
He commissioned the creation of the Corpus Juris Civilis, a monumental legal work that compiled centuries of Roman law into a comprehensive and systematic code.
The Corpus Juris Civilis, also known as Justinian's Code, became the foundation of Byzantine law and had a profound influence on the development of legal systems throughout Europe. It is still studied today by legal scholars and is considered one of the most important legal texts in Western history.
Justinian's reign was not without its challenges.
The East, centered in Constantinople, emphasized the role of the emperor as head of the church, while the West, centered in Rome, asserted the primacy of the Pope. These differences, simmering for centuries, finally boiled over in 1054 CE in an event known as the Great Schism, a dramatic rupture that split the Christian world in two. S5, Media Group, Eastern Orthodox versus Catholic Church differences, historical churches in contrast at Stockard at distribute underscore equally. As the centuries passed, the differences between the Eastern and Western branches of the Christian Church grew wider. While both branches shared the same fundamental beliefs, they diverged on matters of doctrine, ritual, and authority.
The immediate cause of the schism was a dispute over the inclusion of the phrase "and the Son," filioque, in the Nicene Creed, a statement of Christian belief. The Western Church had added the phrase to emphasize the role of the Holy Spirit as proceeding from both the Father and the Son, while the Eastern Church maintained that the Holy Spirit proceeded from the Father alone.
Even though the Western Roman Empire fell, its ideas, architecture, and traditions lived on. The Byzantine Empire continued for centuries, preserving and adapting Roman law, art, and culture. Roman law influenced modern legal systems, Latin shaped many languages, and the legacy of Rome is still with us today.